the best way to do this. And then the motion capture is actually shot at the same time as the audio. And so what that means is you get actual natural performances from these people because they're sitting there reacting to somebody who's on screen, who's right there. They're not looking at something on screen. They're right next to them and they're having a real conversation. And so we get very, very natural performances in the game. So we're going to go over to multiplayer real quick before we do the single player stuff. So Uncharted 3 multiplayer, again, expanding upon what we did in Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2, we built a fully functional multiplayer system, and this time we wanted to completely blow it out. Wanted to take all the stuff we learned from Uncharted 2, take some of the awards we won, and sort of move on from there. And so, unique blend of action-adventure multiplayer. So we think we offer something different than any other game does, where we have this crazy moveset where Drake can climb all over stuff and do all these cool moves that other games don't even offer. And so we think that that's something that players really enjoy and something that we can bring to the table that other games don't. We also have a really deep player progression in this game. And what that means is there's lots and lots of ways to rank up. There's lots of ways to customize your character, your guns, your boosters, all these different things that you can earn in the game that we didn't have before. We also wanted to bring the cinematic feel of single player to multiplayer. So what that means is bringing in that epic set pieces. So in the first multiplayer level, we showed you're on trucks racing across the tarmac, trying to catch up with a plane that's going to take off. We have a train level where there's two trains racing next to each other. You can jump back and forth between them while you're fighting guys. We have a sandstorm. All these different cool things that are in single player and now in multiplayer. We were bringing that same feel. And create a best-in-class multiplayer experience. That was the sort of goal for this project, to bring it to the next level, to take it up a notch from what we did last game. So new features. We completely added in a bunch of new game modes. So first one, 3-team deathmatch. This is 2v2v2. It's really, really fun, super competitive. It's like a crazy swinging game. People really, really enjoy it. And then free-for-all, people have been asking for since Uncharted 2, every man for himself. And then adding in team objective and hardcore. Team objective is a random series of objectives that appear on the map that sort of move around, that make you change your tactics constantly. And hardcore mode being the actual, the most bare bones vanilla, super hardcore for all the fans who really, really like the Uncharted 2 in its pure form. That's what that's for. And then the idea in Team Deathmatch of a power play. And so what that is in Team Deathmatch, it's never fun to just get your face kicked in over and over again. That's not, good. That's not having a good time. And then for the team that's winning, it's not fun to just dominate over and over and over again. So what we wanted to do is keep the games closer. So the idea of the power play is when the spread of the score gets too wide, a power play will kick in. And what that is it gives the chance that's losing a chance to catch up, but the team that's winning, they actually get to earn more XP for every single kill they're making in that time period. So there's an advantage to both teams. And what happens is if the losing team actually does catch up, it instantly turns off the power play and the game continues as if nothing happened. And basically it keeps the games much closer. It doesn't prevent a total blowout from happening. So if a team is really terrible and the other team is really good, the team that's really good is still going to win. It doesn't unbalance the game, but we think it makes it really, really fun. If the game is tied or is very, very close at the end, so if it's 49-49 or 48-49 at the end of the game, we actually add a minute on it. It goes into overtime. And so you have a minute to try and get the most kills in that minute. Whoever does wins the match. And if it's still tied at the end of that, we go into sudden death, where there's only one life for every single player. And so you're constantly trying to be the last guy alive to win the game. All those things just make it more and more intense. We also have a crazy number of expanded co-op content options. So co-op has always been super important to us, and last time we had both co-op adventure and arena mode. And in arena mode last time, it was 3 different game types. It was survival, Gold Rush, and Siege, all different sort of fighting against the AI types. This time we've combined all those together to make one game type where the objective is constantly shifting and you're fighting off the AI in increasingly difficult waves, which I think is really fun. We also added in a brand new hunter mode where it's 2v2v a million. Basically, it's 2 hero players against 2 players playing on the AI side with a bunch of AI enemies with them. And the idea is that they start off as the enemies start off as a base sort of pistol guy, and then as they rank up, they can sort of earn more and more cool slots, so they can get like rocket guy or armor guy that they can play against the heroes as. It's a round-based thing, so you switch sides, so you both get to experience what it's like to play on both sides. We added even more co-op adventures this game, and what that is the sort of 20 to 30 minute experiences that we had last game. There were 3 of them. We have more of them this time, and they're all a light narrative that actually tie together. So it's almost this whole little extra, sort of another world fantasy land of story in Uncharted universe. We also added in the buddy system, and the idea of this is that when people play together, they often have more fun. So if you're playing with somebody who always has your back, it's a lot more fun. And so we wanted to encourage that style of gameplay. So what happens is when you start off the game, if you're by yourself, you automatically get assigned a buddy. If you're in a party with somebody else, like Barney and I were partying together, we would be automatically buddies. And the idea is you can always tell who they are because they have a little icon over their head, and you can always spawn on them wherever they are on the map. And so you constantly, as long as they're not in combat, as long as there's not grenades around, you can always spawn on that person, so you always have somebody who's with you all the time helping you out. And you also get advantages. So if you both shoot somebody and you kill them together, you can actually go high five over their body and get extra medals. You can earn extra cash for playing with your buddy. You have actually a whole set of boosters that I'll talk about that you can use with your buddy to earn more money as well. We also added late join this game, which is huge. It means that anybody who quits, we just fill that slot back up with a new player, so the teams never get uneven. It also means we can do seamless host migration, which means even if the host quits, the game continues. No one will know the difference. We also did split screen, which is huge for us. This is, you can sit down on the couch and play with your friends. It's awesome. And what that means is we actually did a separate PSN login, so you can both keep your progression as you go through. So you can sit down with your brother, with your sister. They're not going to mess up your progression. They're going to have a totally separate one, which is awesome. And then the other thing is we actually added, it's not in this, but we actually added offline as well. You can do LAN mode, so you can actually plug a whole bunch of PS3s into a router and play completely separate from the PSN, which is really cool. It also means you can do offline co-op, so in that split screen mode, you can actually play co-op without ever being connected to the PSN. We also did stereoscopic 3D, that's in multiplayer and in single player. We think it's really gorgeous. It adds a ton of depth to the game. It adds this huge sort of vista look to a lot of our shots, and it's really cool. It's a really cool feature. Customize your play. So this is all about how you can actually change the way you're actually playing the game. So our new booster system is completely revamped. The ideas of these things are they're customized to the way you play. So you can pick these things out, and it sort of will help you play even better in the way you were actually already playing, and they actually level up this time. So as you use them, they have more and more additional bonuses added to them. We also added buddy boosters, which I was talking about before. One of your slots, you can actually put a buddy booster in there, and actually helps you play with that other guy and earn more cash and get extra ammo and stuff like that, which is really cool. Paid boosters. So this is the idea that when you're, at the end of the progression, when you have nothing else left to buy, you have all this cash sitting around. What are you going to do with it? And so the idea of paid boosters is you can actually pay, your in-game cash for a little bit of extra, for a little extra booster at the, in that match itself, and they're expensive, so you can't do this every single time. You only ever earn them every few matches. But if you want to, you can actually buy this thing either in the interface or you can buy it in the game itself to give yourself a temporary advantage. And then medal kickbacks. This is the idea that anytime you do something cool in the game, we give you a medal. So if you're hanging on a ledge and you shoot somebody and you kill them, you get a tricky medal. Or you kill 3 guys in a row, you get a tripled medal, that kind of stuff. And the more medals you earn, you can actually use them to activate a temporary advantage you've gotten. So one of them is like give yourself an RPG, give yourself a shotgun, instantly respawn, all these different things. And so you actually can earn these things and pick them out and then spend them in the game. It's a one-time use, instantly fires off. And we think they're really, really fun. And then, again, spend medals to get an advantage. And then customize yourself. Players kept telling us over and over again they wanted to actually customize what they looked like. And so we brought back all of our heroes and villains that we had last game, plus the new ones. And those guys can be customized as well. They have all kinds of customized parts for them. But you can actually build your own character, both a hero and a villain. And that is out of hundreds and hundreds of parts. Each part can be customized per color as well. So you can actually design the guy that you want to play as both a hero and a villain. And then, like I said, the hero named heroes and villains can be customized as well. And then we also added an emblem system, so you can actually make, sort of a stamp for your look that defines who you are. And it has 4 layers. You can rotate, scale, change the color of all these different hundreds of different options to make your own looking emblem. They can actually even show up on your shirt. And they'll show up in the environment. If you're the best player in the game, it actually shows your emblem on the walls and on the crates and stuff in the level, which is really, really cool. And then customize your weapons. We have a ton of new weapons in this game. You can actually start out, you can actually pick the weapon you start out with, and that means you can choose your loadout. And so you have multiple loadouts that you can set up before the game even starts to pick from. And that consists of a rifle, a pistol, a booster, or the 2 boosters, and the kickback that you want. And so you can very quickly in the game select from these different loadouts and choose what you want to spawn with. On top of that, we added weapon mods to the guns, so you can do things like add a sight, add a longer clip, add these different things to the guns to make them play the way you want them to play, and that's on every single different gun. And then treasures and missions. These are really cool. The idea is that every time you kill somebody, there's a chance that they're going to drop a treasure. And there's also treasure chests on the map that will randomly give you a treasure when you run by them and pick things up. When you get these things, there are sets of them, and as you complete the sets, they'll unlock stuff for you. So they'll give you a whole bunch of different things. They'll give you character pieces. They'll give you emblems. They'll give you new weapons, and I think there's one more thing. That's it. And so, what those weapons are they give you though are these hero weapons. So it's like Elena's AK-47, which has this like totally custom paint job on it. It looks totally different than all the other guns in the game, and it gives you a way to show off. And those guns even have extra mods built into them, so they give you a little bit more advantage than the other guns. And there's tons of those in the game. It's really really cool. And then missions give you something to do. So as you're playing and you want to start trying different things, these missions will encourage you to do that. You can earn cash. They all have a time limit on them, and there's anything from get a certain number of kills in a certain amount of time to play this game type and win 5 times, and they all have timelines on them, and you can earn extra cash for doing them. There's a bunch of different versions of them. There's instant ones, there's long-term ones, there's ones for your friends, so playing with a buddy you can do these missions, and all of them let you earn extra cash and rank up even faster. And the last thing is it's a social experience, and so one of the things that's hugely important for us is both allowing us to connect with our fans and having our fans connect with each other, and our players connect with each other. And so deep Facebook integration. What we realized early in the process of making Uncharted 3 is that the PSN, the average person has one friend on the PSN. The average person has 120 friends on Facebook. And so if you log into Facebook through the Xbox or the PSN XMD, you will be able to actually see all of your friends online who are playing Uncharted 2, even if you're not PSN friends with them, which is awesome. So it means you can tell who's playing Uncharted even if you've never actually hooked up online in the PSN world. We still totally support PSN, so both the invites will totally work. And it's really, really neat because in the interface you'll see, you're already friends with the person on Facebook, you'll see their Facebook picture and their face and their real names, so you can tell who all these people are. It's not just a random handle. So that's really cool. It also means we can do things with Facebook and YouTube in terms of uploading video, which I'll get to in a second. Uncharted TV, what this is, because we can upload video to YouTube, which other games have done before, we realized we could actually do something different. We could actually stream video into the interface, which no one's ever done before, which is really cool. And so what this means is we can show off fan clips. We can show off best games of the week. We can show off messages from Naughty Dog to the fans really, really quickly. And so what we'll do is, if we have something important to say, we can put it up online fast and everybody can see it in the interface. Or if some fan sends us a cool clip, we'll put it in there. It's all these different really neat things that you can see while you're just sitting in the menus watching the interface. There's a small picture of it. And then we greatly enhanced cinema mode to make this clip stuff work better. So first of all, we added rewind, which was the feature everybody wanted. You'll be able to jump back in our cinema mode and actually watch. Our cinema mode basically, for those who don't know, is you can watch a game over again and sort of fly the camera around and actually see what the game was like. Now you can actually jump back as well as going forward, and you can mark clips, so you can actually take out just one 30-second segment and show that off to your friends, and you can upload that clip to YouTube or to Facebook. You can also do screenshots with the same thing. And the coolest thing about all of that is we want to give you an experience where you can put it on Facebook and make it unique. It's not just a cookie cutter, like you earned a trophy, right? It's you chose to take this screenshot or make this clip and put it on your Facebook wall and show it off to your friends. So it's all about your experience in the game and not just some generic thing that we decided was cool. On top of that, you can actually take the video directly out of the interface, render it out onto the hard drive and put it on a USB stick and put it anywhere you want, which is really cool. It's something that is brand new for this game. So there's a lot of information very quickly, and we can go over it more, but I also want to show off the single-player stuff that we came here to show. So we're going to show you a clip or a little bit of gameplay from our Desert Village level that really gets deep into our sand tech and shows off some cool stuff. So I'll load it up.